Sometimes they say the journey is half the fun of getting to your ultimate goal. And in sports, it can be an up and down journey. It's not like you print out a map quest. Ryan's too young to remember MapQuest. Don't worry about it. You know, back in the day when you actually had to print directions, you didn't have a phone, you didn't have a GPS. My mom bought me a GPS, Ryan, when I first got my car, all the way back in 2005. And it was such a big thing that you got maps for life. You didn't have to pay for updated maps. And lo and behold, what we know 20 years later, you don't even need it anymore. But anyway, the journey is
now we got the Apple Quest.
Now we got everything. Now you got idiots with their VR headsets and their freaking Teslas sitting there playing video games while their car's driving. Now I go back to a world of map quests. Don't need to print those directions. Sometimes you don't get those directions when it comes to your professional sports team. A lot of ups and downs, a lot of turns, a lot of detours, a lot of potholes, if you will. But nonetheless, the journey's been quite the one for the Cleveland Cavaliers. And I do think a little bit about where the destination is, what the ultimate goal is. Because I got to tell you, Ryan, I think I'm diving into that GPS. And I think I'm going to update our destination just a little bit. Because we might not stop where we thought. I feel like Kramer in that Seinfeld episode. We're just going to keep going.
That was clever.
Keep going. Where's the needle, baby? It broke off miles ago. You skipped the exit. We're going straight on through.
Oh my god, you just gave me a new bracket idea for one day.
Best Seinfeld
episode. Oh my god, that would be huge. Have you ever done that?
No, because so we did our month-long bracket of the best TV show of all time.
Yeah.
Seinfeld won. Seinfeld won. I am a Seinfeld novice. I know some episodes. I don't know a lot.
Like me.
So I don't know.
Too.
I wouldn't be able to contribute a lot.
Yeah.
I would imagine it would come down to Soup Nazi.
Yeah.
Shrinkage.
Festivus.
The Bet. Do you know the Bet episode?
Just remind me. I'm sure.
They whoever can go the longest without.
Oh yeah.
And Cosmo walks right in. He goes, "I'm out."
Without Lisa Ann, right? The longest without Lisa Ann.
Exactly.
Okay.
Bring that reference back to the show. The sponge one. She didn't know if Putty was worthy of the sponge. And then and the other one, when Newman was going to go take all the aluminum cans and he was going to drive them with Kramer up to Michigan to cash them in.
The shrinkage.
And I said shrinkage.
Oh, did you say that?
Yeah, that is like a number one.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll do that next week. I don't know. Nonetheless, I don't know how we started talking shrinkage with the Cleveland Cavaliers. A lot of images I don't want to think about.
Lisa Ann.
Here we go on a Wednesday. Right here on Big Play. Welcome to the show, everybody. I am. It's not. Oh my God. I was going to say Lisa Ann doesn't promote shrinkage. See, stop that. Stop it.
It's like the
no.
What's the 7 degrees of Kevin Bacon? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
We could be
7 degrees
we could make
separation.
like the 7 degrees of Lisa Ann.
No, we're not doing that. Dude, I don't want that on our show. I just don't. Okay? How how would that even work?
I DM'd her asking her to come on the show.
I'm sure you did. I think she's in jail. Is she not? Did she get out? Did she bail out? I don't know. We'll figure about that later. We'll talk about that later. Got a lot of Cavs to get to. We got Browns this morning as well. Obviously, we were off yesterday, so we got to react and recap everything that Ken Dorsey had to say. Our bracket! People are pissed off at Ryan.
That's how you know it's a good one. That's how you know it's a good bracket.
The seating is bad. I don't know what to tell you.
I don't know anything about wrestling.
Did you put Stone Cold Steve Austin back in there?
I can do it right now.
We're doing the best wrestler of all time.
Well, who do you want me to take out?
That's the problem. I didn't even look at the bracket. I thought you were going to put him in Group 2. Who went? Yeah, they went out.
Hold on. Here's the bracket right now. Because
all right, thank you.
This technically isn't final, but this is how it's going to end.
Who's in Group?
So the voting isn't technically over, but Ric Flair and Andre the Giant are heavy favorites.
So, okay, the problem is that you put Randy Macho Man Savage there. Everybody's upset that you put it. Group 2 was a little... Wait, Group 2 had Andre the Giant in it, right?
Yeah, so that's going to win. So Group 3, so who do we want to take out for who?
Run through.
Who are we putting in?
Stone Cold.
So
he has got to go in, so somebody has to go out.
Okay, well, then who do you want to take out? Mick Foley?
No.
Roddy Piper?
No.
Dusty Rhodes?
No.
Then who do you want to take out? CM Punk?
All right, who else on that list?
John Cena, Hulk Hogan. You're not taking them out.
Yeah.
You're not taking out Undertaker and The Rock.
Oh,
It's got to be Dusty Rhodes or Mick Foley or Roddy Piper.
No, I think we got to take CM Punk out.
Okay, I don't know enough.
Take CM Punk
I'll take CM Punk. And put in who again? Remind me?
Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Okay.
Oh, God. These are... Dude, man. Oh, my God. People are going to be so mad. They're going to be so angry. That... All right.
I don't know jack squat about.
Oh, I haven't
WWE.
watched in years either, but I know who's still popular of all time.
Wait, so we're taking out CM Punk.
We got to take out CM Punk. All the rest of those guys, we can't. If I took out Dusty Rhodes, Ken Carmen come down here and throw me in the lake. That ain't happening.
Did he vote on our bracket?
I'm sure he did. He's a big wrestling guy. I know there's a lot of people in the media. Emmett, Ben Axler. I know a lot of people. Double A. I mean, I know a lot of people are into wrestling. Not really our forte necessarily, but that's why we do the bracket. The bracket is for you, the fans out there. So we'll get to that a little bit later. We got to get to our Cavs typical boost for tonight as well. We got the morning update. I don't like laying the gauntlet out for Ryan and for Time Hop, but we got a lot of TV shows and movies.
Good, I love that.
And I got a movie that you had better not miss. I got a movie that you had better not miss. And that's all I'm going to say. So we'll get to that coming up with Time Up a little bit later. And the one off-season move for the Cleveland Browns, the #1 priority from NFL.com. We'll get to that coming up as well. But Cavs continue to make this roll through the 2 seed. Can you believe we are up into the 2 seed?
Yeah, I can.
Now, it's a half a game for both the Knicks and the Bucks. I watched that Bucks game last night. Chris Middleton twisted an ankle. They didn't have Brook Lopez. They didn't have Dame Lillard in that game. Wheels are turning, man. And I'm starting to think, and I started with the journey that the Cavs have been on. Because if I told you as the season started, or even in the month of December, that I truly now have a goal of the Eastern Conference Finals. Like, I am at that point. We're going to put this as our Twitter question up this morning. What are your now season-end goals for the Cavs? Do you think they're one and done in the playoffs, second round, Eastern Conference Finals, or they're going to make it to the NBA Finals again? And this is one of those weird times where I try to rationalize with myself to say, you're getting hooked. You're getting sucked in, don't believe it. And it's not even like a negative thing. I just try to be real about it. And Ryan, when I take a step back and try to look at it from a 10,000-foot view, I go, the Cavs had better be in Eastern Conference Finals. With how they've played through this stretch, yeah, they're not playing the cream of the crop. Sorry, I'm not going to make excuses for the fact the Cavs have one of the easier schedules on the way out, and they better beat the hell out of the Wizards tonight. I think they will. 10's a little savory. We'll get to our boost coming up in a minute. But I see how they play. I see the impact now of Garland and Mobley coming back. I got to tell you, I think this is an Eastern Conference Finals team. And the thing is, that is so foreign to me on what it looks like without LeBron James. The comparison of my basketball fandom, for a good chunk of my fandom, I don't know what a team looks like without LeBron. So when I see a different team, it's going to take me a minute to go, okay, well, wait a minute. What actually am I looking at here? And I think this is a minimum Eastern Conference Finals team. And they've turned some things around. They're like any team. You need to have some things go right. You got to get hot from three, all this other kind of stuff. Do you want to know one of the reasons that I have flipped so hard, I think, Ryan? Is this. It's a 7-game series. And I watch how the Cavs have gone on this streak. And the grit and, frankly, the momentum that they're playing with. And I look at all the teams, frankly, outside of Boston, and I don't see a way that we lose 4 games to them. We're not going to sweep. We're not going to – there could be games – there's going to be game 6s and game 7. But when I watch how this team is playing – and how excited I am to watch them hold on to this 2 seed. I think they're in that locker room saying, guys, this is now our opportunity. This is our chance to hold on to this 2 seed. I really, in a 7-game series, I don't know if I see a team outside of Boston in the East that we would lose to. And that's crazy. Am I putting too much on it?
I think you're putting a little too much sauce on it. I mean, okay, the 76ers are kind of in the toast. Because,
they're done. They're done.
So we can kind of forget about them. So then, right, it's realistically, unless Julius Randle comes back healthy, plays well, the Knicks could take us for sure to 7. And then also, though, I'm not going to sit here and say confidently I'm going to bet on us to win a 7-game series against Milwaukee.
Oh, I'm feeling good against Milwaukee, man.
Are we playing a better basketball right now? Sure. Are they dealing with injuries and then flip it over while we're recovering. Like we're kind of over that hump on it, sure.
Right.
But you're still talking about Giannis and Dame in 7 games. And I mean, this is the 2-time MVP, top 3 player in the league, playoff machine. Like, I'm not going to sit here and say confidently that we can take the Bucks.
Well, here's the other thing that I'm liking.
But I'm also
how
not
this
saying
is
we can't.
That's it. The conversation is open, right? Like, if we had ever done this poll a couple of weeks ago or a month ago, you would have completely written off Eastern Conference and the finals, completely written it off. That is the fun thing about how the Cavs have played and what they have shown. The thing about their matchups and what they have for Milwaukee, I don't know, man. Like, I think the fact that you beat them a little bit in the regular season matters. That the Cavs maybe don't have the star power, and I use that loosely when, again, you're talking about Giannis and Dame, which I get 100%. I'm putting Doc Rivers in that. I am putting that on. That pressure is going to start mounting.
We got to have a conversation in the morning update about him, Matt.
Like, you hear the broadcast last night? He was out golfing with Pat Connaughton yesterday.
We got to have a conversation.
That's fine. You know, whatever. He's trying to build this up. That's going to take a little bit of time to get that all working up. And the pressure will always inherently be on the Bucks. The Cavs, if we get past the first round this upcoming season, it's all gravy, right? Everybody's going to sit there and say, all right, well, this is bonus, man. The pressure would be off the Cavs. And again, they got to do this a little bit differently than they've ever done it without LeBron. And this team is just different from that standpoint. And I do look around at the rest of the teams, and yeah, they have their star players. Donovan Mitchell is a star player and all that. But the fact that the Cavs have been motivated the way that they are, and that's why this time right now, how they're going to play will actually tell me a lot. Are they going to show up to these games against meaningless teams? The Wizards suck. They're really bad. Are they going to show up tonight and not lay up? And not just like, we're all the basketballs out and see. No, are they going into this game goes, guys, we got to get this win. We're going to hold on to this 2 seed as we get ready to go for the All-Star break. That tells you how their mental side of it is getting ready for the season. And then the supreme motivation, Ryan, to stay in the 2 seed. And what if the Knicks get to the 3 seed? And you get to avoid Boston and Milwaukee until the finals.
But what
What if that happens?
Yeah,
now, the Knicks.
But I'm almost kind of afraid of the Knicks. I was going to say, I'm almost kind of sitting here telling myself that
boogeyman thing
I
about
might be
the
more
Knicks.
worried about the Knicks than the Bucks.
I'd be more worried about the Bucks than the Knicks.
I think I am as well, but they're kind of in that conversation.
Sure, and that's you go back to what happened to you last year and what Mitchell Robinson did and the toughness and all that stuff. Well, first I would look at it and say the Cavs learned from that, and they're going to be able to exercise those demons. I got to tell you, I think that resonates more with the fans than the players. I think the Knicks and the issue of what you had facing them in the playoffs last year, that was more with us than I think it is with the team.
Yeah, honestly, I'd rather play the Knicks just for that fact. They're going to come out with some fire.
I would too. So let's say, play this out in the dream scenario of where the Cavs are going to go. All right, Boston, number 1 seed, great. Number 2 seed. You wait to see how the play-in tournament plays out because you would say you would play the whoever became the 7 seed, right? So actually, who would ever win that first play-in tournament game? So you're talking about the 7-8 game would be Miami or Orlando. So you would face the winner of Miami or Orlando in a 7-game series. I'd rather have Orlando. Okay, so you beat them. Boston would get Chicago, Atlanta, loser of Miami or Orlando. Okay, however it plays out. But then you'd be talking about the Bucks taking on the Pacers, which would be a tough matchup. Or actually, I'm sorry, flip that. I want the Knicks to jump up to the 3 seed. You'd have Knicks-Pacers in a series, which would, I think, be a good series. And then the Bucks 76ers. Probably a walker in the park there for the Bucks. So the Bucks would have the 4 seed. They play Boston in the second round. There's a 2-front war here. I'm wanting to hold on to that 2 seed. I kind of want the Knicks to take over the 3 seed here. I'd love that. I'd feel really good about that. And then you have home court advantage against the Knicks. And you win 1 game at MSG, come back here, get it done. Shout out to MSB, Michael Stanley band. I was listening to Michael Stanley last night. I don't know why.
We're at our early split. Go retweet that.
Oh, sorry. Retweet. At Matt Fontana Show drops follow. Are we over 500?
Oh, yeah.
We're all right. 50. Dude, we've been on fire on Twitter. We appreciate everybody following us there. Cast your vote. I'm thinking they get to the Eastern Conference Finals, man. That's my vote. Ryan, cast your vote.
Yeah, well, okay. like expectation, how different is that from what we think is going to happen, right? I mean,
I think your expectation is what you believe is going to happen. I expect the Cavs to now get to the Eastern Conference Finals, and I believe they're actually going to make it to the Eastern Conference Finals. I get where you're coming from, right?
I don't know if I'm ready to get there yet. So how about this, though?
Tell me why. I want to talk to this. Tell me. No, I'm serious. Like, I would love to hear, like, is it because of the other teams? Is it because of the Cavs? It's the other teams.
It's the other teams. It's because I'm imagining
it's
in a
me
world.
hating on Milwaukee is what you're not jiving with that. I get that. Yeah. Okay, that's fine.
But,
that's
like,
fine.
I don't know. Like, it's all comes down to who's healthiest at the end of the year, right? That's how it is for pretty much every sport. And I'd like to think, we already dealt with our injury bug, knock on wood, right?
It could always happen again, right?
And then I'm just thinking, I mean, Giannis in 7 games is arguably the best player on the planet, right?
Well, would you not agree the Cavs would have the anti-Giannis serum? It's Evan Mobley.
Yeah. Well,
it's Evan Mobley. Like,
well,
again,
then we should have beat the Knicks, right? I mean, if you have anti-Giannis, you have anti-anything.
Well, I mean, the Knicks last year, I think that was a lot of growth from the Cavs. Like, again, X's and O's basketball is one thing. I think the Cavs, the biggest change for them has been their mentality. And I can't blame them for that last year. You don't know what you don't know. It is an impossible way for you to gain experience without going through it. That Cavs team got a slap in the face last year about what playoff basketball is like. And the difference in playing a game in a series, I think JB learned a lot. I think the players learned a lot. And that is now boding well for us this season. It's not an instant credibility thing. You don't say, all right, we played the Knicks, all of a sudden we're a tough team now. No, but you learned, and you got that experience. And I think how the Cavs are navigating right now is evidence of what they learned. The importance of the seeding, the importance of, health and how you play down the stretch to get ready for the season, or for the postseason, I should say. That's all important stuff to me. Now, you're still looking at it as like the players, right? And yes, you still have Giannis and Dame, and you still have Jalen Brunson, and you still have what the Celtics have.
Let me ask you this, Matt, and this is probably a stupid question, but I do kind of think there's something. Nah, maybe not, but you tell me. Are you a little bit worried that they're playing their absolute probably? Do you think they're at their ceiling right now?
No, there's always that. Are you playing your best basketball right now? Do you think
the Cavaliers, the way they've been playing in this 14-1 stretch, they've been playing at their ceiling?
I mean, here's the thing. They're playing, yes. Am I worried about that? Not necessarily.
So let me ask you then this. If the Cavs are playing at their ceiling right now, do you give them a realistic chance of beating the Celtics in 7 games?
I don't, yes.
Okay.
Yes. If this Cavs
But that's not your expectation, correct?
No, I think they get there.
Okay.
I think they get there. And at that point, all bets are off, right? Shout out to Drennan. Once you get there, anything can happen. You're right. The Cavs are playing their best version of basketball right now. If Evan Mobley's going to keep splashing threes, I know it's 1 game. Let's see what he does tonight. But if you can have this version of this Cavs team, I think could play with anybody. In the West, too. Anybody. And that comes down to some, in-series things. Little games, little plays, little things that happen in a series to kind of flip things. But am I worried that they couldn't sustain this for a couple? Not necessarily. Because here would be my ultimate goal, right? You kick ass while there's ass to be kicked. You get out there now. You got your All-Star break coming up, which we're going to talk Jared Allen in a second. You lock that 2 seed up. And then lock it up proverbially. Then you can start to rest some guys. And I know Adam Silver doesn't like that. But you start to get some time off, and then you start doing this and doing that. But then when the playoffs start, you got a different mindset. You're rested. You're ready to go. I think more than anything with basketball teams is belief. That's anything with any sport, right? Do you believe that you belong? Do you believe that you are going to win this game? What soccer? What was it? Soccer? The people that go, I believe we will win.
I believe that we will win.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Was that the crew?
We did in football in high school.
Oh, did you? Maybe I don't know where that came from. Anyway, the Cavs have that belief. I'm not chanting that here on this show. But the Cavs have that belief now. I don't think you lose that. Like, Milwaukee, I don't think is in a good mental place right now. They had a massive change. They're dealing with injuries. And then the same thing, I guess, to put a little Maloik out there on Boston would be, if you're at the top the whole time and you got nobody pressuring you and you're not playing close games, you start to get rusty. There's that element too of the Cavs. They're kicking ass. They're blowing people out. I wouldn't mind a close game or two here coming up.
How about this, man? I'm looking at
not tonight because we got our boost.
I'm looking at covers to see all the different odds on the sports books. Like they do the average and whatnot. So I'm looking at it right now. So the Cavaliers on January 23rd were plus 6,000. That wasn't that long ago. Now February 6th plus 3,500.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. It's
but
twofold.
Does this make sense to you, Matt?
It makes
According
sense.
to this, they have the same odds as the Miami Heat. I don't think that makes sense.
I mean, you got to remember, too, books do that because they want to get the money to come in. I read that as this. I think Miami's a little higher than they should be to try to get some Heat money in for people because they really only care about the basketball. I mean, they care about the football team, but
wouldn't that bring in less Heat money?
Not if. Well, they want to sucker people in
to think
like, oh yeah, they're good, like they're in the hunt on this. Because still, that's great value. So let me put it in this way: say you're a Miami Heat fan.
What?
Nothing. Say you're a Miami Heat fan. You are going to look at that and go, oh my God, we're like the same as the Cavs that are up here. We're same as all these other teams, but we're still at 4,500. I better put some skin in. I better get some skin in the game here on this. That's the game that I think they're playing there with the Heat. Cavs could be better. I mean, at this point, the books, it's how you're playing certainly, but don't ever forget with the books that sometimes it is they want the value of the opponent, or I'm sorry, of the players that are going to get in on that and get going. All right, we are going to get to Typical. We're going to get to our boost coming up. Can you send Adam Silver something for me?
Yeah, I have his number.
Hi, Adam. It's Matt Fontana here. Big play. The hell is wrong with your All-Star game? How do you replace two forwards with a guard? You want to put Scotty Barnes in? Fine. Either the positions matter or they don't. And I know that they keep trying to play this and switch this game. And, okay, you got your 5 starters and you got backcourt and front court, and then you had the wild card spots. I understand that. That's bullcrap. That you had 2 bona fide 4 and 5s, not small forwards like Scotty Barnes. I guess Barnes, whatever. I'm not even arguing about Scotty Barnes. How do you replace those 2 with another guard? Because Jared Allen's going to miss out again. And I know that there's a chance that somebody else is going to get hurt. And if they pass over him at that point, I'm going to go through the freaking roof. Okay? And I shouldn't be that angry. It's just the All-Star game. My issue has always been that's disrespectful to the Cleveland Cavaliers. They are good enough to have 2 All-Stars, let alone what Jared Allen is doing and how well he is playing and the fact that he deserves that. It's that my basketball team deserves that. Atlanta, they don't deserve to go. They don't get to anybody to go. Either the positions matter or they don't. And if they do, which apparently, because again, you have voting on the front court and the back court, how do you replace a front court player with a guard? How do you do that? And you want to know the answer, Ryan? Because they don't give about it. They don't. So maybe I shouldn't care about it. Maybe I shouldn't watch. I am so upset for the Cavs and Jared Allen. Because that they want Trae Young in that game. That's going to make things a lot better for ratings to watch him do it. So everybody can boo poor Trae Young. I don't even dislike Trae Young. I don't care. I know a lot of people do. That's so bad. I'm so angry about that. Like,
is Scotty Barnes creeping his way up the most hated Cleveland athletes?
No, I mean, it's not Scotty Barnes. Like, that's what I'm saying. I'm not even yelling at Trae Young and Scotty Barnes. It's not their fault. It's the NBA's fault that happened. It'd be like the NFL. They go, hey, we can't have a quarterback play in the Pro Bowl games. Again, the Pro Bowl games are a joke, but, we're going to replace him with a guard. Baker Mayfield can't go. So you know what? Let's throw White Teller in there. Kevin's either, and I know they already win, but, like, it doesn't make sense. That does not make sense. And it tells you in the NBA what they'd rather have, They don't want big men. They got Embiid and they got Giannis and Luka, but they like how they play guard. Dude.
They want him pulling up from the logo.
They do. And I guess that's what the NBA game or the All-Star game is going to be. And I will say this. I actually feel confident that Jarrett Allen is going to make it in some way. But again, I don't want it to be viewed as that. Like, he backdoored his way in or he didn't. Jarrett Allen deserves to be an All-Star.
But what if, this keeps stacking the chips on the shoulders for the Cavs?
And you want to know what? If that's something that motivates them, sure. If that's something that keeps Jarrett Allen going, sure. I get all of it. His streak came to an end on a technicality. They took a rebound away from him after he got hurt in that game, and he lost his streak. If that's what's supremely motivating him, great. I'm all for that. Use it for whatever you want. It's an injustice. And I say that term in a world when you hear that word, we're talking about real issues, right? And we're talking about serious things.
NBA is serious.
And it's the All-Star game. And I shouldn't care, Ryan, because they don't. But it's just wrong. That's just wrong. It's not right. And I don't like that. I hate that.
I don't like it either, Matt.
How do you replace a forward with a guard? Seriously. How does that happen? And especially when it's a guy like Jarrett Allen that deserves to go. I hope he makes it. I really do. I think there's a chance that he does. We'll have to wait and see.
Because this is a topic and I'm sure the NBA doesn't look into this at all, but maybe they do because it's about ratings and stuff. It kind of seems like Jarrett Allen's just turned into this meme, this big man meme. It all started with his clothes, that they were bragging on him for wearing just normal clothes. I don't know why. That just tells you the state of the world we're living in. But he's kind of just, and then add that with the brights are too light.
Well, the brights are too light.
The lights are too bright. Yeah. It seems like he's turned into this meme.
I will fully admit to you, as a Cavs fan, would he not be the odd man out? Even on the reserves. You look and you go, that's Jalen Brunson. That's Donovan Mitchell. That's, even, and you look and be like, it's Jarrett Allen. The average fan, which clearly is a part, I know they vote, but the average fan, the average NBA fan, they pick Trae Young out in 2 seconds. 2 seconds. I don't know if the average NBA fan would know who Jarrett Allen is. You want to put that up as a poll question? I'm interested to see it. Do you believe that the average NBA fan outside of Cleveland knows who Jarrett Allen is? They could pick him out of a lineup.
So should I say recognize him?
Yeah. I'll leave it up to you. However you want. You get the essence of it. Outside of Cleveland, do you believe the average NBA fan would know who Jarrett Allen is? They'd be able to look at a picture and say, yep, that's Jarrett Allen. Or whatever. You know what I mean? Vice versa. I give you the name, and here's 5 pictures of 5 guys. You'll be able to point and say, oh, yeah, that's Jarrett Allen. Do you think the average NBA fan outside of Cleveland will be able to do that? Because that is why he's not in the All-Star game. That's why he's not in the All-Star game. That's wrong. That. I shouldn't get that angry. I really should not care, but I think it's more of the reflection on the Cavs. And that's been a battle this season that has been on social media with people about they don't think the Cavs get the respect they deserve. They don't think they get enough coverage here in town locally, all that stuff. I get it. And Ryan, you brought up a good point. Maybe that's the motivation that you need. Maybe that's what this Cavs team is going to jump on to put that chip back on their shoulder. If that's it, fantastic. Great. But I just want to see how that poll plays out.
Just go read it.
Okay. Do you have the do you got it? Do you got it?
Matt.
Do I have it? Let's do it. Let's go! We were so damn close last game. We missed it by 2 points from Evan Mobley. We're back with our Typico boost tonight, taking on the Washington Wizards. So we start. Ryan and I are on the same page with this. That 10 is a big number. Don't know if we like it. So we're going to play that on down to Cavs -6.5. We'll ask a little bit of Evan Mobley again tonight, and we'll ask a little bit of Donovan Mitchell tonight. You see it all right there. Ryan, what do we got?
Alrighty, Donovan Mitchell over 32.5 points plus assists. Evan Mobley to record just 8+ rebounds. And that alt spread we sprinkled in. Cavaliers -6.5. Typico boosted it up to a generous +300 for us tonight.
Oh, that's solid, dude. Very solid. That's pretty solid. And like you said earlier, sometimes you just need to see one go through.
Matt, tell them about that code, please.
That is Fontana 100. You download the Typico app right there, baby. You sign up. Use the code Fontana 100. Tell me you don't want it for this weekend. Use that code Fontana100. When you deposit and bet $25 on whatever sport, and actually I was talking to somebody about this. When you deposit and bet that $25, you could take a minus 10,000 favorite. I don't care. It's whatever you bet. As long as you do that, you're going to get $100 in bonus bets, and you'll be geared up for this weekend. Tell me you won't be ready to go. So here we are. I got it. I'm in right now. I like it. You know what? Okay, tell me I shouldn't do 20. Because I did 20 in the last one because I felt so good about it. I kind of want to do 20 on this.
I think you should do 30 then.
Well, when you chase losses, that's never a good thing. Dude, I'm doing 20. You want to know why? That is a payout of $80. I'm in. You see that? Literally, on my screen, you just saw my bet go through there for Tipico. Using that code Fontana100 when you sign up, deposit bet $25, get $100 in bonus bets. Terms and conditions apply. If you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER. Did you see some of the numbers for the Super Bowl?
Like the ticket prices?
No, for betting.
Oh,
They project 60 million people are going to bet.
When in Vegas.
At 70-odd some billion dollars. Did you see what Ohio did last year? $78 billion in sports bets.
That doesn't really surprise me.
And you want to know what? I read something interesting. They expect it to go up this year. So last year was the big thing where everybody got in. We had a football season, which was great. They actually said that this year is going to be going up.
Do they release the book numbers? Like how much money they made?
Yeah, each book releases that, yeah.
Do they have to? Is that like a thing?
I think so. I'd have to go to the gaming commission because the thing is a percentage of all that needs to go back to the schools. Like the big... so here's the breakdown. Of the percentage that comes out, like the cut that the state gets, 98% of it is supposed to go to education and then 2% goes to gambling addiction. So, like, they have some money set aside for people that have a problem with gambling. But 98% of what the state takes in goes to schools. So, they're doing pretty well. And we're happy to be signed up with Tipico because, again, they project this year to be even bigger than last year here in the state of Ohio. You want to get some odds? You want to get in here for tonight? Let's see how it goes. So, it is 10. Don't know if we like that, but let's see. We'll start here with the Cleveland Cavaliers on the road. Cavs coming to this game red hot. 9-3 against the spread their last 12. 6-game winning streak. And they own Washington. Cavs are 6-0 straight up in their last 6 games against the Wizards and 5-0 against the spread their last 5 games. Cavs are 5-1 straight up in their last 6 games on the road. As far as the over-under tonight, under has hit 8 out of the Cavs' last 12 games, and the under has hit 5 out of the last 7 games that the Cavs and Wizards have played in Washington. So take that for what it is. It's at 233, down from 238. So an interesting play there. For the Wizards, 2-5 against the spread their last 7, just 3-15 straight up in their last 18 games, and they have not covered in their last 5 home games. As I mentioned, the under's kind of the play. Under 7 out of Washington's last 8 games, and I mentioned under 5 out of the last 7 games, and Washington is at home against the Cavaliers. So we'll see how that plays out. The 2 teams did play back-to-back to start the new year on January 3rd and 5th. Cavs won 140-101 and 114-90.
Matt, this poll is very split, so it kind of echoes
the Jared Allen
split.
one?
No, the first one. So
okay.
41% second round exit, 43% ECF appearance.
Interesting. I went Eastern Conference Finals. Did you officially?
I said I don't want to put that juju.
Come on, man.
I'll say second round so I can get proven wrong.
That's fine. You want to put a little bit. You want to give him a little ammo, if you will? A little reverse whammy there, if you will? I'm all for it. All right, when we come back, we got to recap a little bit of what Ken Dorsey had to say a couple of days ago. We were off yesterday. Everybody's wondering about play calling. Did he really say anything that got you going with that? And Deshaun Watson. We got that coming up. Hour 2, morning update. One of the guys in our poll, on our bracket, are the best wrestler of all time.
Matt, we have quite a few things to discuss.
We have a lot in the morning update. Did you bring up this ESPN Fox TNT bundle?
Absolutely.
Get to that coming up at 10 o'clock. I have thoughts. We all do. Stay with us. Fontana Show right here on Big Play. Back at it. Stay with us. I can't get over reflux meme about Ken Dorsey that he looks like Drew Pickles. He looks like Drew Pickles.
I don't know how Chris thinks of some of the shit he does, man.
Dude, it's great. But Dorsey's sitting there with the glass that everybody goes, is he getting ready to do my taxes, like TurboTax? Is he work at H&R Block? But we finally got to reintroduce ourselves to Ken Dorsey as he was introduced on Monday as the Browns offensive coordinator. Some things we got to parse through here right here on the Fontana Show. Welcome back. Big play. Follow us on Twitter. We're over 500.
I'm excited to talk some Ken Dorsey, Matt. I have some thoughts.
I'm sure you do. We're up on Twitter. We're over 500, so the trek is now to 1,000. I put goals high here. Follow us on Instagram, which is always a hot and heavy place, at Matt Fontana Show. I appreciate you. I'm starting to get my Instagram going a little more.
I noticed
at Matt Fontana, ESPN, so follow me there. So we're collabing. It's a young term there for some people out there. Collabing, if you will, on Instagram. And Twitch is our newest venture. So follow us there, at Matt Fontana Show. Before we play any clips, what are you so excited about with Ken Dorsey? I'm interested. The look? The like, did you hear something that, and we're going to play some of this stuff. I think the ultimate thing is we try to, listen, I'm like a lot of people. I don't want to sit here every single day and go, who's going to call plays? Well, who do you think is going to call plays?
Not even, that's not even something I'm like.
Kevin Stefanski's bad at his job, right?
It's going to be Kevin. It's going to be Kevin.
I don't really mean that.
I was, did it not sound to you, Matt? It's interesting. They didn't throw the quarterback coach label on him yet.
No, and I think that is...
Did it not sound like... And I'm happy that this is the way it sounded. I'm happy.
Yeah.
He really was, as we predicted, as we said they needed to do. He's coming in here to try to fix Deshaun. It sounded clear, cut, and dry. That's what he's here for.
I agree with you. I agree. So if he's here to fix Deshaun Watson, you would believe that play calling is not a part... Because, okay... And again, we are coming from the base that Deshaun Watson needs to be better. We keep using the word fixed and broken, and people get pissed off when we say that.
Yeah, they do.
That's
why I keep doing it.
I can't come up with any other words. The thing is, Deshaun Watson has to play better. We all know that, right? There's two schools of thought on how you get him there. Number one, that is we're going to fix him, his mechanics, his footwork, his vision, what he does. Or you fix it with play calling. Very rarely in this world does a problem only have one solution, right? Goes back to the Flash. What did his mom say? Sometimes problems don't even have a solution. So they're trying to figure out what they need to do with Deshaun Watson. So you could either say, hey, man, we have this system that we're going to run, and you're going to fit into this system. Or we will change the system to you. And I know it's never just quite as black and white as that. It's important to do both of those things. You got to meld it together. What does he like to do? Fit in what we're doing and changing earlier. My whole point is, it did sound a lot like Ken Dorsey was, I am going to be Deshaun Watson's shadow. I'm going to be next to him every play of training camp, every play of mini camp, telling him this is what we need to see or this is what we need to do. Well, then he would not be calling plays. And that would then go back to that quarterback coach mindset. Now, not hiring one, Tim Kelly, who a lot of people had circled as, okay, he's got some connections with Watson. He's now going up to New York. He's off the list as a potential candidate there. If I had to guess, I think they're open to finding a quarterback coach. But if they don't, then they'll just give it to Ken Dorsey. Now, the wrinkle in that is you got to go find an O-line coach now, too.
Did you catch, and it'll play in one of our clips we're going to play here shortly. Did you catch his little, I think, Freudian slip?
Yeah, I mean, I think there were a couple in there.
Well, we'll wait to get
to it.
All
right, let's get to it. So the first clip I want to play, straight up, question asked, Ken Dorsey, Monday, sound video courtesy of the Browns. Is it important to you to call plays? Here's Ken Dorsey.
Play calling to me is, not as important as winning football games. To me, it's more about, all right, what's the decision that we feel most comfortable about moving forward to help our team win. And I've been, in my career more interested about, okay, what can I do to help this team win, more so than anything else. And that's the only thing that matters to me. So whether Kevin's calling it, I'm calling it, that's to me, the most important thing is us as a team. So now if Kevin's calling, what can I do? I could do my job to as high of an ability as humanly possible. I could get Deshaun ready to play each and every week. I can get our room ready to play each and every week because we got a great room, and I'm sure we'll add to that. And then I could help develop a game plan that's going to help us be multiple, attack a defense in different ways, be aggressive, you know, and be, you know, elite in what we do. And that's the most important thing to me, you know, just doing that to make sure if I'm in that role, hey, I'm going to do that at an extremely high level.
Those were good non-answers. Those were coached up. They're going to ask you, just say this. But how he kind of got into, I know we're picking this apart here a little bit, but the fact that he kind of got in depth to understand of like, let me explain what I would be doing, right? Because we get kind of in this bubble as a fan base where you go, well, okay, what does assistant coach do? What does this coach actually do? And you think, all right, they run drills at practice and then they, you know, make sure that they're ready to go. No, in the NFL game, Bill Callahan would set up how they want to approach the run game. Stump Mitchell, as the run game coordinator, would say, these are the plays that we need to run. It's never as simple as like, you know, well, I'll go back to if anybody played high school or even college football. You just think, all right, here's our set of plays. This is what we run. And this week we think this one's going to work and this one's going to work and maybe that one. And we're just going to go out there and play the game. That's how it goes. That's not how the NFL works. You have a collaboration. It's a little like CEO, vice president type stuff, right? You have Kevin Stefanski here, but he's taking all of this information in from all of his assistants to make the right decisions on what plays we got to run this week. That's how the NFL works. So it is an important role. And the way that Ken Dorsey kind of described it there, we know the importance of that. And frankly, I knew the importance of what Alex Van Pelt was doing too. I mean, I don't know if there was anything, and not just in that clip, but of what Ken Dorsey said that made me feel like I'm operating the same way. I think the default is Kevin Stefanski's going to call plays, and nothing he said on Monday made me think otherwise.
Yeah, no.
Was that the Freudian slip you were talking about?
No, I think it's in the next clip.
All right, play that. You want to do the next clip? Which next clip do you want to play? You tell me.
It is has he spoke to Deshaun.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I wanted to play this one because, again, you heard him kind of discuss, like, I got to get Deshaun right, and I go back to what I said on Monday. I love the fact that the Browns are at least acknowledging that. Acknowledging that Deshaun Watson's got to be better. I'm sure Deshaun would say that. The fans need to say that. And the organization had that. If we start on that, we're off to a good start in the offseason. I'll tell you that very much. So the question was, Ken Dorsey, sound and video courtesy of the Browns. We thank them for that. Have you spoken to Deshaun Watson yet? Here's Ken Dorsey.
I was able to have a conversation with them, and it was great. You know, we're in the phase, obviously, in the off season of just more getting to know each other and that type of thing. So it was great to talk to him. I look forward to, you know, having more conversations, just get to know him, get to know the guy, get to know the person, you know, and a lot of these guys, you know, in the building. So. But it was really good to get him on the phone and just kind of, you know, initial conversations. And I can't wait to get to work with him because, again, he's one of the premier quarterbacks in this league. And from everything I've heard about him, a really quality human being. So I'm just excited about that opportunity.
I get to work for him. For him, huh?
For Deshaun Watson.
That sounds like a quarterback coach.
Sounds like a quarterback coach to me,
Sounds like a quarterback coach. That does. And again, it's like they all need to work kind of for these guys and with these players, individuals, and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, that was my biggest takeaway in that you had all this opportunity. I mean, he was up there for a half an hour, pretty tight-lipped about it. I figured if he was going to slip, it was going to be slipping that he plans on calling plays. I don't see it. I really don't. And it's not that I trust Kevin Stefanski to make the right decision. I mean, here's the ultimate question. Do you feel better about Ken Dorsey after hearing from him? Because I think we'd all admit he was not the number one choice. I would say he was not my number one choice.
Everybody loves to talk about did he win or lose the press conference.
Well, and then what happened in Buffalo? I thought he handled that well by kind of saying, hey, I'm not talking about that.
To answer your question,
do you feel better about Ken Dorsey?
I'm not quite sure why I do, and if there's
just because you heard from him. You know?
Yeah, of course. It makes you feel better once you get to know a little bit more about a person.
Right.
I think, you know, and you take it for what you will. Just because a dude's bad at talking to the media doesn't mean that translates. That's poop. But, like, I thought he did a good job.
There's a personal level to all of this, right? Where we like hearing from these coaches. You kind of ingratiate. You love your coaches, all that. So getting to just hear from him a little bit was good. And it's not that he's going to sit down with us with a grease board and be like, all right, here, when we run this play, we're going to do this, and this is what we're going to set up. That's not what I'm talking about. But I do think a lot of fans, just to get that little sense of like, all right, it's kind of a calming of the waters because Dorsey was not the number one hire for a lot of people. And I do know people that straight up were like, this is a bad idea. Jake Burns from the OBR joined us last week. Jake, not overly impressed with the hire. And Jake would know. He watches a lot of tape. He's in the know. He's talked to people. I don't know. I mean, maybe we'll have to have Jake on coming up and see if he's flipped it all. But, like, just hearing from Dorsey, I think, helped a little bit. The stuff and the emphasis on Watson is what I wanted to hear. And that was the thing that I cared about. And just the idea that they know they got to fix that. To your point on the Freudian slip, when he said, I'm working for, and then he goes, well, with Deshaun. You're kind of working for him, right?
I mean, either way, yeah.
Like,
it was more of a joke, but like,
I know, and I get what you're saying, but like, there's battles, and we all know the story, that there was a player that straight up to the face of his head coach of the Cleveland Browns in the past said, I make more money than you, and I'm going to be here a lot longer than you.
Who said that?
Oh, you don't know that story?
No.
Oh, I'll tell you that later. It's pretty well known. I don't want to put it on blast because, like, whatever.
Well, so can you tell me what year it was?
No, because then you know what the coach was.
Oh, fair.
You know what the coach is and player.
Fair.
Oh, allegedly. I should preface all of this. I wasn't there.
Okay, tell me this. Was it pre-Hugh? Or, it was probably Hugh.
No, it wasn't Hugh. No, it was pre-Hugh.
Okay.
Not that far before. All right, stop that.
Then I know who it is.
Okay, good. The coaches do, in essence, work for the players. What would get a coach fired faster? Not developing play, not winning games. I get that. You got to have talent. You got to win. But think about that. Think about Kevin Stefanski's position. Now, Stefanski has punched through the ceiling. And the ceiling was he was tied to Baker Mayfield. He was tied to now Deshaun Watson. And he somehow still elevated, escaped that, and now he is at a level that all head coaches, in my opinion, strive to get to. They're above everybody else. And I don't mean that in a negative way. Here's my point. All these new hires, they are directly tied, mostly to their quarterbacks, right? Shane Steichen's future in Indianapolis rests on Anthony Richardson. DeMeco Ryans early parts of his career rest on C.J. Stroud. You know what you want to get to? Mike Tomlin, where, yes, Kenny Pickett blows, but Mike Tomlin is still there. He has ascended. And you got to get to a point like maybe Sean McVay, and all these coaches that you got tenure. Like a professor at a school, right? You have tenure. I believe that Kevin Stefanski now has tenure. So his job is not so much directly tied to Deshaun Watson. How that future plays out, I don't know. We'll have to remain to be seen. But my whole point is Ken Dorsey's direct future is tied to Deshaun Watson. If Ken Dorsey wants to become a head coach again or wants to become an offensive play caller again, he needs Deshaun Watson to be successful. There is no third direction. If Deshaun Watson sucks, Ken Dorsey is going to be viewed as he sucks at his job. If Deshaun Watson is successful, that will carry on with Ken Dorsey. Now, the thing is, that was what Ken was doing in Buffalo. He was seen as successful because Josh Allen was successful. Then what happened? Josh Allen was not successful. Maybe not even at all the reason for Ken Dorsey. What happened? Ken Dorsey lost his job.
Matt.
Ken Dorsey is, in a way, working for Deshaun Watson.
You mentioned, obviously, how Ken Dorsey's tied to Deshaun Watson now, and it's kind of been his career. He's been tied to these quarterbacks because we know he's worked with Cam Newton and Josh Allen, and he's had really great success. Won an MVP in Newton, and Josh was a runner-up in third place the next year. How, and maybe you can't answer this right now, rank those three in terms of talent, Cam Newton, Josh Allen, Deshaun, because does Deshaun have the ability that Ken's able to coach them to a level of a Josh Allen or a 2015 Cam Newton?
That's exactly my point. If you want to talk about peak prime Cam, Deshaun Watson's third on that list. Think about that. Yeah. Like, Cam is Cam, and now it's like a little bit different, and you don't look at the New England I picture that sitting out with my son one day, and he watches like Cam Newton with the Patriots, and he goes, "Man, that guy sucks." I'm like, "No, like no, you don't understand."
You know the Aikman meme?
You don't understand.
It's like, tell me about Cam Newton in 2015. He's like,
yeah, right. Like, we've never seen anything like that. You know what I mean? That was incredible. So if you're talking about just that Cam, yeah, Deshaun Watson is third on that list.
Okay.
He's got to be. And he did discuss that about the running, because that was a couple things that came up. You've had running quarterback. The thing is, again, look at those three quarterbacks. Who's the odd man out there? Deshaun Watson. And Deshaun's a pretty built guy. You know, he's 6'2", 215. He ain't Josh Allen or Cam Newton. Those guys are 6'4", 6'5", 240.
Yeah,
they run a little. I mean, yeah, they run a little bit different. They do. So the RPO game, which is still something that Dorsey would do a lot with those guys, that changes when you get to Deshaun Watson.
But flip it over. Deshaun Watson historically turns the ball over less than Cam Newton.
He
and Josh
should.
Allen.
Yeah, that's what you would hope, right? Yeah. That's what you would believe. And again, it's the meld that you want here. It's what Dorsey is bringing in to still join what Kevin Stefanski wants to do. And that, I think, is also a big part in the play calling, which, again, we're going to be really selective on this, because we could just bitch and moan all day about who's calling plays, and we don't really know. The thing that you got to understand, and what I think Kevin Stefanski might be waiting for, how much of Ken Dorsey actually syncs up with what Stefanski does? We jump down that rabbit hole for just a second. They loved Ken Dorsey in the interview. That's supposedly why they brought him in. Okay. There's still a difference in philosophy. Every one of these coaches comes off of some coaching tree, right? Stefanski is the Kubiak. It all kind of comes back to the West Coast at this point. All these different elements, right? So you hire him, you bring him in, and what I would do if I was Kevin Stefanski was sit down with Ken Dorsey and say, unload your thoughts on everything. I'm not going to say a word. I'm going to meet with you every day for hours, and I just want you to give me every thought that you have on offense, your approach, your schemes, your terminology, all of that. And then I, as the coach of this is still my scheme, will try to understand, are you close to what I do? Because if you are, maybe you are going to call plays here. Because if the gap is big, if what Stefanski has been running is up here, I'm not saying it's like best, like right, but he's been running it here, and these are the words and the terms and the scheme and everything we've been doing, it's right here. But if Ken Dorsey's all the way down here, like nothing meshes, nothing really like there's no carryover, then Kevin Stefanski's going to call plays, because you can't shift everything. You can't just turn it all over here right away. But if there's a little bit of carryover and they just see some things similarly, then there's an easier way to just kind of slide on in. You know what I mean? Like just slide on into what we're doing here on the offense, and you maybe do turn it over to Ken.
So Matt, are you buying into? Are you heavily buying into that there's certain coaches that can succeed based on different types of quarterbacks, like your pocket passers, your extended plays, your pure arm? Like, do you think there's a big truth to that certain coaches succeed better with certain styles of quarterbacks?
Well, that's the thing. It's the body type of quarterbacks or their style of play is one thing. It's how much can you change your scheme to fit that guy? You know, we always talk about that coach. Like, I'll try to answer your question this way. I believe Kyle Shanahan would make anybody work. You give him Lamar Jackson, you give him Patrick Mahomes, you give him Brock Purdy, he's going to make that work. That's why Kyle Shanahan is so good. I think Sean McVay could make almost anybody work. So those are the cream of the crop coaches. Some of the other guys, I also kind of like, while scheme and play calling is important, sometimes you just need your quarterback to go out there and make plays. And I think that's why Patrick Mahomes, and I'm not saying Andy Reid's not been good at his job, he's been amazing. But the thing is, some of that stuff is just Patrick Mahomes being Patrick Mahomes. There's some element of that quarterback just saying, I'll go win this game. I'll go do what I need to do to make these plays. So like,
is Deshaun capable of that?
He should be. I believe so. Yeah, I do. Scheme is always important. Play calling, but like,
I guess we did get a little sprinkle in the second half of the Ravens game.
There's got to be some element of Deshaun Watson saying, you could call the worst play for the defense that they're about to run, and I'll still get you a completion here. You could call it up that this defense is supposed to smoke us on this play, and I'm still going to go out there and do what I need to do. That's elite. Say what you want, he's paid, he should be elite.
Draws us back to scripted plays.
I mean, they asked Dorsey about that. Deshaun, as everybody knows, scripted plays are important. They're not going anywhere, and they're important to how you set up the rest of the game plan. So he's going to have to deal with it. I don't know what to tell you. Final thing, I did want to play Kevin Stefanski about Bill Callahan leaving. We all kind of knew this is what it's set up to be, but I think the Browns did the right move. Here's Kevin Stefanski, actually, from Monday, introducing Ken Dorsey, but had a quick statement on Bill Callahan. Sound and video courtesy of the Browns.
Bill Callahan, very unique situation there to go work for Brian, not with Brian. He's going to work for Brian. I can't wait for Brian to boss him around. The dream of every kid is to boss their parents around. So happy for those guys. Again, I think organizationally we realize that's a unique situation and did not want to stand in the way of that. And so excited for certainly Brian and Bill down there.
What else are you going to do? You try to force him to be here. He's not going to be paying it. His heart is not here. It's not going to be in it. I think that was the right move from the Cleveland Browns. And I also give credit to Bill Callahan because I'm sure that was a really hard decision for him. Here I am where I'm well paid. You have an amount of loyalty to the Cleveland Browns. It's your son. Literally, it's your son. So for him to step up, and he could have tried to toe that line, be like, I'll stay here and all that. I give Bill Callahan a lot of credit, too, for stepping up. Like, nope, this is what I want to do. This is where I'm going to go. We only probably have this opportunity right now to do this. And you move on. And the coaching, that hire is going to be massive, too. Whether it's Scott Peters, whether it's somebody else, kind of turn our attention to that. And then the same thing. So you have everything cinched up except your O-line and your quarterback coach, right? Everything else is good as far as right now. We know staffs are still getting figured out and, all that other kind of stuff. But right now, that's where you stand. So we'll have to see how those hires go. Really going to start ramping up. Dude, can you believe the Combine is in a couple of weeks? Man?
Good.
I can't wait. I cannot wait. I love the Combine. I love watching fat guys run. I love the bench press. I do. I watch it all day. Now that I got NFL Network back, dude, I didn't have that NFL Network for 3 years because I had Uverse. Oh, that switch is coming soon, man. This bundle thing that we'll get to in the morning update, if this is what I think it is, could they put Bally's in that? Come on.
I know.
That's my whole hang-up. We'll get to that. We got a lot in the morning update. Ric Flair's got a crypto. We got this bundle thing. You want to put Ohio State basketball in there? Holy God. Man.
I don't even
care. You can bring it up, but whatever. We'll get to it. Morning update coming your way. We got a lot to get to in hour 2, including the one off-season move needed for the Browns. Do not forget about our Tipico boost up for the Cavs tonight, taking on the Wizards. We got you covered everywhere you need right here on the Fontana Show on Big Play. Big Play's got you covered. Come get some. Josh and Maria last night. What is today, Ryan? Wednesday. Come get some. Oh, no, come get some.
Did you see
bonus time?
Bruce is today. Did you see? Have you seen the?
Oh, we can announce it. Dorian Thompson-Robinson on Monday with the Big Play Cleveland Show, guys.
Well, he was.
He was Monday.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Have you seen that couple, that Cleveland couple that went viral for? They walk around barefoot everywhere because boost your immunity.
They're from Cleveland.
They were just in studio on Josh and Maria's show last night.
I saw they cut their bottom of their shoes out, right? Because they don't want to be shamed.
Josh and Maria just interviewed them. They came into the studio yesterday.
Were they barefoot?
They were not, actually, believe it or not. I don't know why. I said I didn't know they were worried about they weren't allowed, but yeah, but they're making a rap video coming up.
Very interesting. So that was Josh and Maria Cribbs. Donuts to that, and of course, welcome. Enter the Jungle
was last night. Yeah,
it was last night. And our newest Bally show. Congratulations to James and crew there. They'll be up on Bally's there soon. So we got it all for you. BigPlay.com is our website. All of our merch is there. And, of course, check out other shows. Big Play on Twitter. Of course, Big Play channel on YouTube as well. Instagram and Facebook. It's all there. Let's catch our break. A jam-packed morning update. We got a lot to get to. Time up coming up in hour 2 as well. Stay with us. All right, here we go. We got the morning update, a lot of stories, and we got to know. We got to figure out this streaming thing that's going on here. I've been reading a lot of articles. I got some good news on it. We got Cavs. We got a little Browns. You got any Guardians mixed in there? No, because
I got some. Don't get too high hopes here, but some breaking news.
Oh, really? Go ahead.
Ohio State head coach Ryan Day is giving up offensive play calling this season.
I thought Bill O'Brien's leaving. I figured he was not going to call plays with Bill O'Brien there. I get that, but I thought Bill O'Brien was leaving for Boston College. Is he not?
I saw it was a heavy rumor.
All right. We'll see. I mean, again, that's the right call for Ryan Day. Okay. All right. We'll see. Good luck.
All righty, Matt. Well, some better news here for us. ESPN, Fox, Warner Bros. They announced on Tuesday that they plan to launch a sports streaming platform in the fall that will include offerings from at least 15 networks in all 4 major professional sports leagues.
It's cable. I knew this was gonna. It's a loop. It's a time loop, and we're all gonna come back to this. Where eventually, I'm sick of paying for 5 different apps. I want to bundle all those apps together. That was cable. Now, so here's what it is, and great job by Awful announcing because I thought their article really helped out a little bit. According to Joe Flint and Isabella Simonetti of the Wall Street Journal, the new app will be available to anyone already subscribed to Disney Plus, Hulu, or Max. I already subscribed to Max. So, does that mean I don't have to pay for this app then?
I don't know.
That's my whole point. So if I already pay for Max, and frankly, I already pay for ESPN Plus. I get Disney Plus through my phone. Yeah. Actually, I subscribe to all those. So I get them through the phone. I got too much crap. So, the thing is, I mean, it's like anything. Can I watch what I want to watch and not have to pay an arm and a leg?
No, it's not how the world works.
I know it's not. I just want to go back to cable. I just want to go back to cable where I have all of my channels that I want to watch. Here's my fee. The other thing is, like a lot of people, I pay a lot of money per month for internet and phone, or internet and TV, and frankly, my phone bill too. So, and I scroll through the channels, right? I have thousands of channels. I only watch 5, right? But when I want to watch them, I want to watch them. But like last night, what did I do? So we got done with dinner. We try not to turn the TV on with the kids around because it's just, you don't want too much screen time.
I like that, man.
But what do? When we do, we turn on YouTube so they can watch Bluey, or they have this dancing fruit show that my daughter, she's 7 months old. There's a dancing fruit show, and she loves it. That's on YouTube, okay? Then at night, I sat down to hold my daughter. What do? I watched the NBA game on TNT on the app, okay? During the day, I watched Parks and Rec. That was on IFC. Well, if that was on an app that I could watch, then I don't need cable, and I subscribe to that. It's just all this craziness. The only thing, and it remains to be the biggest thing for me, is what are they doing with the Guardians? What are they doing with my local sports and the regional sports network? And supposedly the Guardians are back on Bally's this year. That's going to change everything for me, man.
Matt, what age are you going to give your son his first phone?
So we have already discussed if it's ready to give him a tablet, because they have kids' tablets now.
I'm a proponent of waiting, as long as
I would love to hold off, but the thing is, you'll realize this. Remember when you were a kid, everybody else has one, and I want one. Everybody else has this.
You gotta lay down the law.
I mean, the thing is, to be able to have the parental control, I do not want him anywhere near TikTok. And again, he's 2.5. He's not even 3.
You don't want to have him see Lisa Ann pop.
No. And I hate playing this generational war and all that kind of stuff. But dude, you got grown ass adult parents.
Daddy, who's Lisa Ann? Daddy, who's Lisa Ann?
Here, wait, do this dance.
Daddy, renegade with me.
Here, we're gonna do this. Okay, now put it on TikTok. We'll get 1 million views and make a bunch of money instead of going, whatever. That stuff scares me. That stuff really scares me. You got grown-ass adults pandering their kids there on some social media platform to do some dance or some mom blog or this or that. Scary state of society. I'll just put it that way. But no, he doesn't have a phone. I'll hold that off as long as I can. Tablets, we tried very much to limit screen time. It is what it is. But, you know, are we finally coming back to everything's just going to start to be bundled now? Because all these apps, like, I mean, they all need to make their money. And they're making $1 bajillion doing all this kind of stuff. And they have to pay $1 bajillion to get all the sports that I want. Like, okay, here, let's say I buy this package. ESPN, let's call it for what it is. ESPN, TNT, and Fox. That's it. You're still not getting CBS. You're still not getting NBC. Now, I could go buy rabbit ears and put those on my TV and get the over-the-air broadcast. If I want to watch golf on Saturday or Sunday, I want to watch NBC. Like, I get those because I pay for cable. So, like, I got to tell you, Ryan, I already pay for all this stuff because I already got cable. We're going to do some numbers crunch. I don't see, like, if it's included, because I already pay for HBO Max, I'm in. I'm cutting the cable tomorrow.
Matt, would you live in a box with your family for a year if that meant after that year you're living lavish mansion the rest of your life?
What do you mean a box?
Like
this studio?
Yeah.
We can't ever leave the studio?
Like, you can leave, but this is like this studio.
Your
so
home?
How big would you like it?
We're already on we don't have enough room in our house as it is with two kids.
So I'm asking you, for a year, would you do that?
No, not with their current age. No,
okay.
Absolutely not.
Hey, well, I was going to say, if you're willing to do that, I have an amazing investment opportunity for you.
Oh, I guess some
Ric
land in
Flair,
Florida. Oh,
Ric Flair's coming out with a new Woo coin.
I got some land in Florida.
Go ahead, live in a cardboard box, sell everything you own, invest it all in Ric Flair's Woo coin, and you'll be rich the rest of your life.
What is this? Ric Flair this morning announced, shockingly, that he has a crypto that is now called Woo Crypto. Do you get a free energy drink when you buy the crypto?
Elon tweets about it. It's going to skyrocket. You got to get in WooCoin right now.
All right. This is what I don't understand. Hang on. I'm going to... Ric Flair. Ric Flair Crypto. He launched it. Apparently, this was launched a while ago. Of Woo Coin. What I don't understand is, Woo Coin, and I know none of this, is an ERC20 token on the Ethereum blockchain.
Ethereum.
You know more about Ethereum. Thank you. That tells you where I'm at in all this. With a fixed supply of 10 billion tokens, the project aims to raise 1.7 million in pre-sale investor round for the collective contribution to Ethereum. So correct me if I'm wrong.
So Ethereum is like the second largest coin behind
Bitcoin. And now Woo is just an offshoot of that?
Essentially.
Okay, so you're too young for this. Remember when the state quarters were the cat's ass and everybody was lining up to get state quarters? That sounds like what this is. It's still a quarter. This is still a chunk of Ethereum, but it's just marketed as Woo. This is... Dude, I got nothing for it. Because these all look like pyramid schemes. This all looks like... Again, they're trying to raise money. Do not forget that they're trying to make money. Can I take that and go take it to the Cleveland Water Department and go, hey, here's my bill for a month. Woo! See you guys later. Have a good month. We'll see you later. Bye. Does that work? I don't think so. This is from dailycoin.com. Beware of meme coin investing. Solana-based Boink was the meme coin success of 2023.
Boink.
Is that what it is? Do you know what Boink is?
I don't know.
Okay.
That's funny.
Going from relative obscurity to a cap market peak of $2 billion, outlasting Pepe to become the third largest meme coin in evaluation. Investing just $100 in Boink would have returned $9,300, equating to a 9,200% gain. So here's my point. And then, whoa, wait a minute. How about this? Then Boink lost 60% of its value.
It's all a bubble.
When investors reminded that the meme coin investing can be fraught with extreme volatility. So
That's
if you
all
got
crypto
in,
is volatility.
But again, Brian, here's my point. You turned $100 into $9,000. I'm not sniffing at $9,000. Bro, you didn't make $1 million off of that. You know what I mean? And the fact is, okay, you lose $100, sure, that's fine. But like, when you make that money, it's because you took it from somebody else. It's because you're taking it from some poor sap that is investing and they're buying it at a higher rate and all that kind of stuff. I said this, Ryan, and I'll say it again. You want to know why I'm a perfect barometer for this stuff? Because when I hear about it, it's already out. You're already out of the game. Yep. By the time that I hear about some crypto, it's already
your chance
too late.
With WooCoin.
It's already too late.
Now's your chance with WooCoin.
My ass. What are you going to do with WooCoin? Turn $100 into $110? Okay, great.
I'll take it.
Fantastic. I guess a win is a win. I don't understand this, and I fully admit that I don't understand it. So I don't enter that game. I don't.
Fair enough.
I just don't. And for everybody that thought that's the world that we're going to, because I understand what's the whole point of crypto? Ryan, you don't see your money. I don't see my money. They're numbers and they're algorithms on my phone, right? My banking is all digital. All my bills are digital. Now, I could walk down to the ATM and pull cash out and have that money, but you want to know the funny thing? People forget this too. Do you know that if every person went to your bank and asked for the money that they actually have in that bank, that the banking system would collapse in the United States? Yeah. Because you deposit, I'll make it easy on myself. You give $100 to your bank. They take 90 of those dollars and pass them out to other people. And then when they deposit their money, which is your same $90, they take a cut of that and they rent the rest of it out. So your money is out there circulating to everybody. So if I went to the bank and I said, my wife and I, our life savings is in there. We're working on a house, right? And we're very proud of the money. If I walked up and I said, give it here. It's mine. It's mine and my wife's. It's our money. And we walked and said, no, give it here. And Ryan and everybody else went to the banking system in the United States would collapse because there's not enough money in the banks to actually pay you back out. It's all a house of cards. And the crypto is just, it's no different than everything is digital. I don't understand it. And it's going to take me a long time to get involved with that. It really will.
Alrighty, Matt. Well, let's go to the baseball world for a minute here. Are you a fan of the A's moving to Vegas?
I feel bad for Oakland fans, but they need a baseball team in Vegas. So.
Well, the Las Vegas mayor isn't too fond of them moving into their city. They plan to build a $1.5 billion stadium in Vegas, but Mayor Goodman said the team's stadium plan does not make sense and that the A's ownership should go back to the drawing board and pitch a new plan in the Bay Area.
This is a giant blanking match about who's paying what, where it's going to be, the taxes, and there's always friction. Find me a stadium build that has gone completely smooth. Now, you could look to LA and they built SoFi, no problem there, and they built the Raiders, Leach Stadium, which, by the way, don't forget, too, football's different. Everybody, you don't want to lose a football team. Baseball team, nobody really cares. So that's a little bit more of added on to this. So football is a little bit of an anomaly where you ain't letting your team leave. You're going to get it figured out fine. And it gives you hope for the Browns. They're never going anywhere, but they got to get their stadium figured out. Baseball is different. So this is the mayor coming out and saying, like, all right, well, it's a negotiation. It's a giant pushback. We're not going to pay for this. You're going to pay for that. And they'll figure it out. They're still going to Oakland, are they not? Right? They ain't going anywhere.
I believe
so. I'm sorry, Vegas. I keep saying Oakland. They're going to go to Vegas. They're leaving. So they'll get that stadium done when it's done.
All righty, Matt. Well, we'll end the morning updates. We're running a little late here with this one, but I said I wanted to talk about Doc Rivers earlier.
Yeah.
How much of a just disgrace is it that he's coaching the East All-Star team?
It's traditionally the coach with the best record, which it's not Joe Mazzulla.
Yeah, so I asked the same question. Apparently, you can't do it back-to-back years.
Oh, okay, so here you go.
It should be JB.
It probably should be. It probably should.
That's ridiculous.
Now,
man.
Doc tried to smooth that over by saying he was going to give his bonus to Adrian Griffin and, trying to get his guys to go on vacation, all that kind of stuff. It's not necessarily Doc's fault, but again, it's another screw up on the NBA's part. It's another massive screw up on the NBA's part on how they're handling the All-Star game. Again, it's the All-Star game. It's meant to be a joke. It's meant to be just kind of fun, but, I'm sure they'd rather be on vacation. Sam Merrill was joking about that the other night. Or Donovan Mitchell was at, like, why don't you take Sam to the three-point contest? He goes, Sam wants to go on vacation. He wants to get away, get on a beach for a couple of days. Don't forget, too, a lot of these players, they don't like going to the All-Star game because they'd rather be on a beach for 3 days and relax than have to go play it. I know it's a meaningless game, but it's not easy to do. Like, All-Star game can be a burden. And, mark this, too, Donovan Mitchell's going to get some games off after the All-Star game. And I think that's where the NBA needs to relax some of their bull crap about the resting guys. When you got these guys that are playing as hard as they're playing and they're going through the season, and then you also make them go to the All-Star game and not get a week off, you should allow them to take a couple of games off. You should allow. There should be some exception in that rule that if you make an All-Star game, you get to take 3 games off over the next month without any questions from the NBA or something like that. Because they're at the All-Star game, you're getting your money off that TV revenue, cut them some slack. But nonetheless, I think Donovan's going to take a couple of games off there coming up here for the Cavs. All right, flip it over to the Browns. I was on NFL.com this morning. Kevin Patcher, around the NFL writer, the one offseason move or the biggest offseason priority for every single AFC team. Ran through Cincinnati, franchise T. Higgins. Baltimore, keep Justin Matabuke in town. That's been a popular one. For the Cleveland Browns, also very popular, find a field-stretching number 2 wide receiver. Kevin writes.
Marquise Brown.
God bless you. The Browns found success in their vertical passing attack under Joe Flacco. If they keep that going with Deshaun Watson, adding an outside speed threat to Amari Cooper is a must, especially with recent efforts to bolster their receiving core, Elijah Moore and Cedric Tillman, failing to pan out. The 2024 draft is deep enough at the receiver position. The Browns could wait until April to address that element. Even with the team's first pick in the second half of the second round, Cleveland's lack of projected cap space, along with their need to restock the defensive front, yet again, will make it challenging to add a big money receiver in free agency. It's not impossible. They could go after the likes of Gabe Davis or
Marquise Brown.
However it comes, GM Andrew Berry needs to pair Cooper with a legitimate partner for Watson and the offense to reach its potential.
No arguments there.
We all know that. It's got to be that. Are you opening your mind more to a drafted wide receiver, though?
Well, I want both. So
I mean, trust me, I would too.
Yeah. Well, no, but am I now, to say the least, because we are yet to hit in that area.
I mean, so like we've discussed this a little bit about Andrew Berry, where it seems to be that receiver is his weak spot. You know, DB does not seem to be a problem. He finds DBs. You know, offensive line, I don't know. Receiver certainly is it. So there's 2 schools of thought. Number 1, you get better at that, and that's the easiest thing to do. You find better receivers. The other option is just keep throwing those darts. Just keep doing it. And with how the Browns are built, yes, they need to add some more D-tackle depth. And some of the mock drafts that I saw, we did Matt Miller's the other day, it was D-tackle for the Browns in the second round. But if you feel like your weakness is receiver, your better option is to just keep firing. Just keep doing it. And I actually would lean towards receiver in the second round. Matt, that's a lot of guys. Trade one of them away. Tell me that you wouldn't get something back for David Bell. 6th rounder, 7th rounder, maybe. Is Elijah Moore back on the hook? I don't know. Try to do like I'm almost entering this with Andrew Berry, knowing that the rest of the offense is pretty well set. A couple of pieces on defense. Bring in 3-4 receivers this offseason. I don't really care. Do whatever you need to do. The problem is you don't have the money to invest it mostly in one, like quantity over quality. At this point, I'm actually leaning a more quantity. Bring in as many as you can. Draft a couple, sign a couple. But what we'd all prefer is, Ryan, you bundle up some of that cap space and you go actually get somebody that we know can play football in the free agency market. That's probably last on the list right now. That's probably dead last for how the Cleveland Browns are going to operate. I am getting ready for the second round draft pick. I think it's going to be a wide receiver. But you got to do something. Just keep throwing, man. You just got to keep throwing until you find a guy.
Yeah.
Denver. What they should do this offseason, trade Jerry Jeudy.
There you go.
Revisit that. I'd revisit that.
Connected to Cleveland for a couple of years now. But Matt,
I'd give him
there was a
redraft straight up.
There was a redraft that with DeJuan Jones. I mean, how nuts is that? The Bengals, they had him redrafted in the first round.
Dude, those it's the same thing with
as like draft grades.
Draft grades. I mean, it's the draft is a giant crapshoot, and when you look at just the sheer amount, like you talk about the best players in football today, there are some that were the first, but like even the fact of they were the 3rd overall pick, right? Nick Bosa still went number 3. And I know quarterback is more important than anything, but you look at the sheer misses where half of the first round do not become all pro players. You know, sometimes the guys just wash out. The draft is I think it's fun for that reason. And you hope to find the diamond in the rough. And there are GMs that make their name off of drafting 2 or 3 guys. And you found them, and this is their guy, and holy cow, they didn't know. There's no way that they could have known. You sit there and you go, all right, man, this guy checks all these boxes. This guy's it. Draft him, and they got nothing. Their game doesn't translate. They got off the field problems. They just don't work in the NFL. It's fun for that element. It's an interesting case study of this too, Ryan. That of the billions of people in this world, or even just in the United States, and all the ones that play football, you can't find 32 quarterbacks. Think about it. You can't find 32 people to do that job at a high level.
Matt, can I play devil's advocate for a second?
Sure.
If you were the Browns and you could get out of Deshaun Watson's contract today, okay?
Yeah. Do I get my pick back?
No.
Okay.
No. Would you trade next year's first and Myles Garrett? I know. Hear me out.
Okay.
For Caleb Williams? No. No.
I wouldn't trade a 1 for Gale. No.
So you're just not believing in that Williams hype?
No, I come from this school of thought. For every time that I hear that this guy's a generational talent it kind of goes back to the exact point I was just making. That I said you couldn't find 32, right, to do this job. But there's every year there's a quarterback. Every single year. Outside of some odd, fluky years. But even in years that you didn't have a first-round pick, you found Dak Prescott. And I do very much believe in it is a start of the quarterback, but it is where they land and the coaching and the team and the scheme and all that kind of stuff. But Ryan, almost every year, there is a quarterback that you would say is a franchise guy, right? So I'll just find the next one. If I miss it, and granted, this year, it might be Caleb Williams, and Drake May might be great, and Bo Nix might be great, and Michael Penix could be this, and Jaden Daniels that. I'll just wait for the next one. For as much as people want to make the importance of the quarterback, which I'm not saying it's not important, there will be more. There will be others. There will be another draft class next year, and people can get all excited about Will Howard or Quinn Ewers or whoever's coming out next year, and the year after that, and the year after that, and the year after that. There's always going to be somebody next, so just go find the next one.
All right, well, let me ask you this, another devil advocate question.
Yeah.
Take contracts aside. So don't include this in Deshaun's contract in your school of thought for this question. If you could snap your fingers and pick one quarterback to go start the season, right? Deshaun Watson or Caleb Williams?
Deshaun Watson.
Deshaun Watson?
Yeah. I've seen him do it on the pro level. And that's not me crapping on Caleb Williams, but I've seen Deshaun Watson do it. And that's why I don't know why the Bears, you've seen Justin Fields do it. I think the money is what's fouling them up there because you get to restart with a rookie contract. Kind of my point. What does Chicago think? We'll just get the next one. That's fine. We'll get the next one. And you're going to cast off Justin Fields, and he might go and have great success and all that kind of stuff. But it's like you have some unicorns that you want to find, but don't forget, it has a lot to do with the teams that you go to. I'll just find the next one.
It's just apparently to everybody, I mean, Caleb Williams is supposed to be the next Messiah.
I think he's going to be good, but same thing. He could go to Chicago, who's got their heads up their rear end, and they could break him. He could be ruined there. I'm not asking for that. And the same thing. And here's the thing. We want to tie back to the Browns again, too. With where they're at with Deshaun Watson, folks, there'll be another one. There will be another one. Deshaun Watson's not playing quarterback here for 20 years. There's going to be another one. I don't know when it's going to be. I don't know how it's going to go. But there will be another one. They're going to have to find another one. Someday. I don't know when. But they're going to have to. It turns over. So as we've gone through a chunk of his contract, can you believe, dude, we're about halfway through this thing. Mm-hmm. And I know they structured it to sign him again and keep kicking that can down the road. And I'll be interested, like everybody else, to see if they restructure him this year or not. If they want to get out of it, there will be another one. They'll find somebody else. They'll go get somebody else because that's their job. Whether it's Andrew Barry and Kevin Stefanski or crew or somebody else, they'll find somebody. They'll do it. There's always that turnover. So this year, for a lot of reasons, is it. And the thing is, I didn't want to entertain the idea of if it went really bad. Okay, I'll entertain it for a second. And I know this is not how some people feel, but this is truly how I'm going to feel about it. Let's say at the end of this season, the Browns go 9-8. They miss the playoffs. Deshaun Watson just never regains it. He's never back to the level that he is. And the Browns come back out after this season, and they basically make it known this upcoming 2025 year will be the final year of Deshaun Watson being here. It is what it is. I wouldn't stand out in front of Berea with pitchforks and try to tell you idiots, you screwed up my franchise. No, because it's over. You spent the money. The picks are gone. Go find me another one. That's it. And you could save that clip if that actually happens or somewhere. You'll find another one. Like, as important as that position is, there always are others. And when you find your Mahomes and your Burrows, but even look at Jalen Hurts, right? Everybody, you think you got it. There is such a small group, too, that they are consistent at being at the top. You needed to pay Jalen Hurts, and everybody thought they were on their way. All right, feeling a little bit different right now. Next year, what's Jared Goff got for everybody again next year? What does, C.J. Stroud? And again, it's all relative success, but there's just such a small group of guys that you can say year in and year out. Right now, it is Patrick Mahomes, and that's it. He's above everybody else. And I'm not saying that the Bills would ever trade away Josh Allen. I'm not saying the Bengals would ever trade away Joe Burrow, but there's always somebody else. There's always a next guy. And after this season, which will tell the story, you know that, I know that, everybody knows, this season is it for the future of Deshaun Watson with the Cleveland Browns. Everything is right now, this year. It'll tell the story. And if it goes bad and they got to throw their hands up and say, you know what, it didn't work, I will say, you know what? That's fine. You tried. And I know that's not a good answer for some people because you'd say you'd sell this off or you did this, you gave up all that other stuff. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? I don't know. I just hope it doesn't go bad. We'll have to see. All right, when we come back, we got Time Up, including a movie that Ryan better not miss. It's an important one.
All right.
Very important one. We'll get to that coming up. We got a couple Browns things. We'll get to all that with Time Up. We'll remind everybody of our bracket as well. Best wrestler of all time. Everybody really upset with Brian on some of the seating. We'll get to that, and we'll get to our Typico boost with the Cavs for tonight. We got it all. Wrap things up for you next. All right, let's jump into time up. We don't have to go too far, Ryan, for our very first one, because just 1 year ago today, I'm rewatching the video right now. LeBron James passed Kareem Abdul-Jabbar for the most points in NBA history. It was a little jab step. He got to the free throw line, a little fadeaway jumper, splash, bang, if you will,
still
from
think
Mike Breen.
he should have totally skyhooked it. I mean, that would have been awesome.
Cool.
That would have been the coolest thing ever. And then wouldn't have been cool. Well, I can't even say it because LeBron will never get past. So but like then if a dude who was gonna pass LeBron did his like signature, he looks down.
Yeah.
Step back.
The jab step was like the LeBron fadeaway is LeBron's thing.
He looks down.
He does. Yeah. I mean,
most unguardable move in NBA history.
That is a great question about what, because again, you talk about the skyhook, you talk about LeBron, but that dude Kevin Durant, and now Wembanyama too.
Yeah, that's cool. Like, I mean,
the most unguardable shot by a player.
The dream shake, all that stuff.
Steph. When he steps, like Steph's got that deep step back.
Dude, you know what we should do? I love talking about this. Like, you know how like people are like, masked Kyrie, hoodie Melo. What other ones are there? There's another big one. Hoodie Melo, masked Kyrie. One was
masked
LeBron.
Durant. Didn't he have a mask?
LeBron had a mask for a little
Yeah.
bit. Or no, it's masked LeBron. It's untucked shirt Kyrie Irving.
Oh, yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
love talking about that. Or like mouth guard Curry.
Oh, yeah. Well, Steph always just gnawing on that thing. But I think, again, for LeBron, that'll never be passed for two reasons. One, the longevity. You have to have that. And in today's NBA, I just think that's really hard to do. And then the scoring output. Now, the thing is, NBA scoring obviously is up.
And you can't come out until you go to college, or at least a year. No.
Yeah, but also, like, now with... it takes so long. And the thing is...
It's never getting passed.
And I'm not saying this is all luck, but a part of it is LeBron's never dealt with a major injury. When you look at guys snapping Achilles and knees and this, that, and I'm not saying he hasn't battled injuries throughout his career, he certainly has.
Can you knock on wood for me?
But yeah. But like, think about, seriously, in a 20-year career, okay, back, he's got the ankle down. He's never once had a major season-ending surgery.
And he never once left the NBA to go play baseball.
Oh, wow. You don't know. You don't know the flight. We'll get to that in 1 second.
God.
You just hold on to that, buddy boy. Wow.
Okay,
what
Dorsey.
a glitch in the Matrix. We continue. Yes.
Wow.
I
What
will
is
get
going
to
on?
something else in timeout. Should I just get right to it right now?
Yeah.
This day, 1994, Michael Jordan signed his minor league contract
That's
with
crazy.
the Chicago
That's
White Sox
unbelievable.
organization. This day, 94.
Simulation.
It's all just a glitch in the Matrix. I don't know what to tell you. Back to 2021, Super Bowl 55. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers beat the Kansas City Chiefs. It was a blowout. Super Bowl 55. 31-9. Of course, this one was massive because they actually played it at home. Tom Brady gets the MVP. Chiefs were favored in that game by 3. And they go and then get it done. He should have just walked it off there. I don't know why he didn't. Came back, tried to do it again, couldn't do it. But yeah, this day, 2001, Super Bowl 55. This day, 2020, sad day, Swagger passed away, the Browns dog. Then they had that awkward live stream funeral for him. There's a lot of dogs. They've all passed away. It's sad, but I've never had a live stream funeral for my dog.
Can't say I've seen that either.
No. But unfortunately, RIP to Swagger. This day, 2020. This day, 2019, Todd Monken, Steve Wilkes, and Mike Prefer were all introduced as the Browns coordinators under Fred Kitchens. Todd Monken, obviously, in the running to win Assistant Coach of the Year, and Steve Wilkes, defensive coordinator for the 49ers. I'd say it's working out pretty well for them.
Where's Pfeiffer?
I think he's out of the league now for this past year.
He was the odd one out.
Yeah.
One of these is not like the
he'll
other.
get back into it. Mike Prefer's an interesting dude, though. He flew helicopters in the Gulf War, and he got into coaching. Really interesting guy.
Badass.
And he is. End of an era this day, 2016. The Browns released Josh McCown for the final time. What's he doing? Is he coaching somewhere? Remember when everybody freaked out?
I think he's doing media, no?
But remember when everybody was freaking out that they were going to give him a job straight out of playing, and everybody was thinking he was going to be an awesome offensive coordinator. I wondered whatever happened to him. I don't know. This day, what's up?
It says he's, I don't know if he's still there, but it says Houston Texans. It doesn't say he ended. So
right, OC, because wasn't he like supposed to be the OC under like Lovie Smith or something? Or I don't remember.
In 2023, well, I don't know what he's doing now, but in 2023, McCown was hired by the Panthers to be their quarterback's coach under Frank Reich, so I don't know if he's still there.
Probably not there anymore. We'll see. Another Super Bowl this day, 2010, Super Bowl 44. It was the New Orleans Saints getting the win over the Indianapolis Colts, 31-17.
I think that was my first Super Bowl I remember, man.
You remember watching Peyton Manning throw a bad pick six in that game? On that. Drew Brees, 32 out of 39, 288 and a couple of touchdowns. Manning, a touchdown and an interception. He threw for 333 yards in that game, but still lost. Touchdown to Pierre Thomas, also to Jeremy Shockey.
That's a blast from the past.
New Orleans recorded the first ever successful onside kick in Super Bowl history outside of the fourth quarter. Got that done. In that game, so congratulations to the Saints that got it done. This day, 1984, Navy Captain Bruce McCandless performed the first ever untethered spacewalk using boosters that he had designed. Can you imagine that? No. I'm going to go off of this for a second, and I might just float off into the abyss. What movie was that? Was that the Matthew McConaughey movie?
Interstellar?
Is that where he's just
Gravity?
Maybe where they just float away into space. And
I don't know, man. There's stuff about space that's me.
Oh, I have no interest, none. I know
do,
that it's like getting commercialized and things like that.
My biggest conspiracy.
I don't want to go down. I'm not going down. I ain't going up.
My biggest one, like out of the giant conspiracies, the one I actually think there might be some truth to is we didn't go to the moon.
Oh, stop that, Ryan. What they did in somebody's basement in LA?
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, dude. There's a lot. Why haven't we gone back, Matt?
They don't need to. Well, there's nothing up there. They got some rocks and they came back. What's the point?
But you're telling me with the technology we have now, you don't.
They're all about go to Mars. They're trying to get to Mars.
I don't even know if we've been to the moon, so I don't know if we're going to Mars anytime
All right,
soon.
here's a great question. These are like, I love doing the show for this way, and I've always kind of for as long as I've been doing my show, somebody tried this as a backhanded compliment to like talk crap about me, but I actually took it as a great compliment. Somebody once told me that my show is nothing but a couple of guys sitting around on bar stools.
That's what it's supposed to
be.
And
I said, that's what I want to do.
Yeah.
So next time
that's what a podcast is.
That's what it is. Like, I don't know what to tell you. So the next time you crack open a garage beer and you, ooh, this is nice and cold. Sit down with your buddies over a garage beer. What is a scarier thought? That we aren't alone in this universe, or that we are alone in this universe?
Easy answer to me.
What is it?
The more scarier one would be that we are alone.
Yes, I kind of agree.
Yeah, absolutely.
That in this ever-expanding world, which like you hear like Neil deGrasse Tyson and they talk about like the universe and all that, to think that of all these billions of planets and stars and the galaxies and all this other stuff, that we really are the only thing. Like, again, conversely, there's something else out there. We just haven't found it. Or have we?
We have. Oh, my God, we have.
You buying Area 51?
Absolutely.
That's like, another great bracket that I've done before is what's your favorite conspiracy theory?
I can't.
Loch Ness Monster, aliens.
Yeah, I love that one.
Kind of
like,
stuff.
I can't fathom, and to each their own, you have your right to have your opinion, obviously, and I would never take that from you, but I just have a hard time fathoming how people believe we're alone. You know, like, I just can't grasp that.
I mean,
there's no
like,
way.
That, you know, whether if you're a religious person, you believe in God and God created us, or that you believe evolution and the fact that, like, our Earth, our world, this planet that we are on, they have not found a planet similar because of the density of, you know, just you need carbon, you need oxygen, you need water, you need all these things, right? And they've not, maybe our planet is just that thing. The fact that there's not even one close to us in our own solar system, I think is interesting. Like,
but then you have to put that to a scale, because realistically, do we even know how big that measure? Like,
oh no, they don't know how big. Like, it's never expanded.
So that could just be a little like.
But I guess here's my point: in the creation of our Earth, which was how many billions of years ago, right? The fact that a planet right next to us was not also created, right? If you believe in the Big Bang and all this energy and all this matter created Earth, Why is Mars not the same as Earth? They were right next to each other, proverbially. I know they're far away, but you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Why is the moon not of the same thing of Earth? Why was Earth created the way that it was that then was home to life? Why is it that way? I don't know. I'm not an astrophysicist. I have no idea. But the question of, out there, and again, we have long-ranging things, like we're getting out there as far as we can. You hear Neil deGrasse Tyson and the Brian Cox guy and all these, people that this is literally their job. And you go, how is there not something else out there? I don't know.
Well, dude, sorry, hair in my mouth. I watched this history thing, and this just puts into perspective how much, history there is that we don't even know about. Like, if you took from, the Big Bang, they say the start of everything, right? Like, if you took from that point that, everything started to where we are today, right now, me and you sitting here, Matt, if you put that in, a year scale, January 1st is the Big Bang, and then to where we are, the present, is, 3/6, the last day of the year.
No, I know exactly what you're talking about. By the way, so the Earth is estimated to be 4.54 billion years old. So I don't mean to take this away from you, but this is what it is. If you were talking about a 24-hour day where the Big Bang happened at midnight, dinosaurs show up
that's what it is.
at 12:56 p.m., human existence is 32 seconds or something something like that. I can't really it's along those same lines. Again, if you're talking about a 24-hour stretch of the Big Bang happens at midnight, dinosaurs don't show up until 12:56 p.m. and human existence is 30 seconds.
Yeah, well, because it was if the Big Bang was January 1st, you pretend it's a year, it was January 1st, and where me and you are right now, Matt, is the last day of the year, December 31st.
Yeah.
Dinosaurs would have existed on December 30th.
Right. It's this little tiny, and we're separated by 65 million years.
Something like that.
Crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy.
We need an astrophysicist.
Earth is the third planet and the only astronomical object known to harbor life. This is enabled by Earth being a water world, the only one in our solar system sustaining liquid surface water. That's it. It's the key to life, of course, as we know. So, will we find it? I don't know. It all started because, again, this day in history, 1984, Navy Captain Bruce McCandless, who's got a bigger set than I do, did an untethered spacewalk using boosters that he had designed. This day, 1964, the Beatles came to America for the very first time. They landed in New York to 3,000 fans at the airport, and they went on the Ed Sullivan Show the very next day. A very happy birthday goes out to former Browns punter Chris Gardocki, Steve Nash, Juwan Howard, who's apparently in some hot water at Michigan now.
Is he? I didn't hear about that.
He's going to the tact of it's the players' fault, and they're not buying into my system.
Oh, wow.
Don't even get me started on Ohio State. Chris Holman's going to be fired by the end of the day. But Juwan Howard's going to these guys don't play in my system, it's all their fault. And I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing to do in college, but that's what he's doing. Matt Stafford, former Cavalier guard Isaiah Thomas, no, not that one, the other one, Charles Dickens, Chris Rock, Ashton Kutcher, Garth Brooks, and James Spader all celebrating birthdays.
Wow, James Spader.
Pretty solid day today. All right, I got 4 for you today. 3 movies and 1 television show. We start this day, 2003. David Wooderson gets played by Goldie Hawn's daughter in a ploy for a magazine. What ends up?
I know exactly.
I know
what
you
it
know
is.
it. Yeah. Wooderson, of course, is
Matthew McConaughey.
correct. Goldie Hawn's daughter is
I can't.
Kate Hudson.
Yeah, she's a journal. How to Lose a Guy in 7 days? 7 days? 13 days?
10 days.
10
Close
days?
enough. How to Lose a Guy in 10 days.
Okay.
This day, 2003.
Give or take a few days?
I have seen it. It's not bad. It's not bad. I don't really want to have you guess on this one because it's kind of, it's very morbid on why this show started. This day, 1988. Your one hint is that a revival of this show is actually coming back. And their claim to fame is that they have helped catch tens of thousands of criminals by this TV show America's Most Wanted.
Oh, okay.
Remember that?
Yeah, I do remember. When I was a kid, I was terrified of it.
Scary show. And then it started, unfortunately, because John Walsh's son was abducted and killed. And he was the host of this show to find these people.
I didn't know that.
Oh, it's bad.
Like, so the dude who hosts that, he had that happen to him?
Yeah, so his son.
I didn't know that.
I don't know why I know this, but I do. So it's sad. His son was at a shopping store with his mom. And he walked away, and some guy took him, and they unfortunately found him beheaded like 3 days later.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, it was bad. So John Walsh, like, he became the start of this show, like, of America's Most Wanted, to find these criminals, because they didn't know who it was. They didn't know the guy.
It's like locally.
They eventually found him.
It's like locally, Amanda Berry now helps find.
Very much so.
Yeah.
And then there have been, on America's Most Wanted, there have been Cleveland people on there before.
Yeah. I mean,
like, you're right. I remember that show growing up because it was just scary. It was just scary. This day, 1988, America's Most Wanted started. All right, now here's the movie that you had better not miss, okay? I start by saying that this movie came out this day, 1974. And your hint is that in no way or world could this movie ever get made today.
What year was this?
74. It is extremely racist. They use a lot of words in there that you cannot say in today's day and age. But I'll be damned if it's still not a very funny movie.
74?
74. I don't know if I'm giving you a layup on this or not. If I told you about Mongo, do you know who Mongo is?
I don't think so.
Okay. A town is in trouble and they need some help from their new sheriff who arrives on the scene.
Is it a Clint Eastwood film?
No, but it is a parody of a lot of Westerns.
Was it Ways to Die in the Wild West?
No. I mean, it's kind of like that, but it's 74.
Is there a number involved in the title?
No. It's a Mel Brooks movie. I don't know if that helps you or not. I don't know if you're going to get it. Have you heard of Blazing Saddles?
No.
You've never heard of Blazing Saddles?
No.
What a cast. Cleavon Little plays Bart. Gene Wilder, the Waco Kid. Slim Pickens, Harvey Korman, Madeline Klein, Mel Brooks himself, of course. He's
Madeline Klein?
Yeah, or Madeline Kahn. Not Klein,
I was about
Madeline
to say,
Kahn.
there's a Madeline Klein that's famous today.
Blazing Saddles. If you watch it, I mean, they drop all the bombs.
All the George Carlin words?
All of them. All of them. And again, you can never make, but the whole point was that it was meant to be satirical and it was meant to be funny.
South Park still exists.
That's what I'm saying. Like, so you got to watch it from the standpoint of they made it in 74. It would never work in today, but it's a hilarious flick. That's a really good flick.
I'll have to check it out.
All right, this day, 1940, final one, another animated Disney film. Any guesses?
Snow White?
No.
Cinderella?
He's alive.
He's alive.
I'm a real boy.
Oh, Pinocchio.
Pinocchio is correct. Yes, Pinocchio is correct. This day, 1940. So enjoy it very much. All right, final time. We got to go. We're getting out of here. Oh, my God. We got to do the bracket, too. Damn it. Damn it. Hurry up. Do the booth.
Oh, you want to do the booth?
No. Do the bracket. Do the bracket.
All right, here we go.
Hurry
The bracket.
All right,
the
bracket is up. Did you put Stone Cold in?
Yeah, Stone Cold's in Group 4. I took
Glass
out...
Shatters. Yes.
I forget who I took out.
CM Punk, right?
Yes.
Better be
CM
CM Punk.
I took out CM Punk.
All right, these groups are going to get people going here.
Yeah. The Rock, Undertaker, Roddy Piper, Mick Foley, Group 3. And Group 4, Hulk Hogan, John Cena, Stone Cold, and Dusty Rhodes.
All right, send those out right now at Matt Fontana Show. Drop us a follow on Twitter. Send all your angry tweets at Ryan Tyler 33. It's all his fault. He did the seating. Final thing, bracket. Boost. I feel good. I put a big wager on it for tonight. Cavs taking on the Wizards. Alternate point line, -6.5. Gonna need some scoring and some assists there for Donovan Mitchell and some rebounds from Evan Mobley. Ryan, we're up to a nice little solid.
Plus 300.
All right, go to Tipico. Use that code Fontana100 when you sign up. Deposit and bet $25 on whatever you want. With that code, get $100 in bonus bets. Get ready to go for the game this weekend. And a nice little, dude, could you imagine you hit on our boost here for the weekend? I put $20 on it. Come on now.
Super Bowl money.
You get the rewards coming back. Got the flex parlays. It's all up there at Tipico, folks. Get signed up today. Appreciate everybody joining us this morning. Great stuff. Drennan coming up tonight with a little bit of bonus time. Go back for all our replays at Big Play. It's on Twitter. We're on YouTube and also streaming on Twitch at Matt Fontana Show. Have a fantastic Wednesday. For Ryan Tyler, I'm Matt Fontana. As always, take it easy.